to another episode of Stupid Ideas from Bad Creative. I am Slim, joined by the person who knows nothing about wrestling, Sid. Hello, Sid.
How you going?
And to prove that he knows nothing, do you know who Darren Young is?
Not a clue.
No? Do you know who Minoru Suzuki is?
No.
No? What about Jinder Mahal?
We've heard that one.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but no.
He's subject to this episode.
Alright.
What about Randy Orton?
Yes.
You know Randy. John Cena.
Of course.
The Rock.
Obviously.
Triple H.
Obviously.
Kane.
We've done that one.
Undertaker.
Again?
Finn Balor.
No.
What about T-Bar?
No.
Mace?
No.
Slapjack?
Definitely not.
Yeah, there's...
That's good.
Yeah, so he knows nothing. This episode is about WWE Champion Jinder Mahal. So, Jinder Mahal, he's a jobber, alright? Job guy, whatever. Person who's there to lose.
Right.
He puts everybody else over so that they look strong.
Mm-hmm.
So, the way that this came about was that in 2016 there was a brand split.
Mm.
So, what had happened was in 2002 they split the brands after the invasion failed. Because originally they were going to do the WCW, WWE split brands.
Yeah.
They then went in 2002, right, we're going to split Raw and SmackDown into separate brands, give them belts, all that sort of shit.
Yeah.
That ran for a while. Then in about 2012, it sort of, I think it was like the arse end of 2011, but it sort of just combined.
Came back together.
Yeah.
It sort of did pretty well over that time, I think. Just based on the fact that I've seen so much of the pair of them.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, they were still both shows, but they just shared the one roster pool and all that.
Yeah.
It did also mean, I think they unified like the tag titles and shit, but like that it had 2 world titles, 2 mid-card titles, the tag titles, and I think they unified the women's titles as well, so they only had one women's title.
We can't keep pretending this is separate, it's sort of...
Yeah, so
come together.
they had a lot of titles.
Yeah.
Anyway, back in 2016 they split them again, so that we then had Raw and SmackDown.
Okay.
And so then that meant we had to have 2 rosters, so they did a draft, like, so that they could pick their rosters. Raw got 3 drafts, SmackDown's 2, due to Raw being 3 hours, SmackDown being 2.
Right.
So for every hour they got a person pretty much.
Yeah.
And so with that, Dean Ambrose was WWE Champion. You know that one?
Yeah, we covered that.
Yep. Well, he was champ, and it was announced that at Battleground 2016, a couple of days later, he would defend the belt in a triple threat match
Of course.
against Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins.
Now, did we talk about this a little bit last time?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Shield.
The Shield.
Yes. So, if Ambrose won, then the title stayed on SmackDown. If either Reigns or Rollins won, it went to Raw.
Gotcha.
Well, Dean won.
Okay.
So it stayed on SmackDown. That's cool. So then they unveiled a new belt called the Universal Championship. That went on Raw. Seth Rollins lost to Finn Balor to win that. And when that happened, Finn did his shoulder so that it got vacated straight away. Like the next night on Raw.
Right.
So he only held the belt for 1 day.
Wow, that's...
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You're an inaugural champion, won the belt for 1 day.
Yeah, that's kind of...
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. But, yeah, then when they got split, brands got split, they said that there was going to be a commissioner and a general manager.
Okay.
Raw had commissioner Stephanie McMahon and general manager Mick Foley, I believe. And SmackDown had Shane McMahon commissioner and Daniel Bryan as the GM, who had retired due to injury, which, yeah. So they announced that on SmackDown it was going to be the land of opportunity, right? You know, that's all good. People that wouldn't normally be given shots at belts,
Sure.
get shots.
Your smaller wrestlers were going to start to be...
Yeah, featured more.
Yeah. Cool.
Yep, that's cool.
Can't see that as a bad thing.
Nah. So Jinder, he Well, he had been wrestling previously from 2011 to 2014. He got fired in 2014, along with Drew McIntyre. I don't know if you know that one.
No.
No? Well, one of the biggest names on WWE today.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, anyway, they got fired. And that whole time previous, he was pretty much just a jobber. Didn't do much of anything.
Yeah.
You know, he sort of come in as sort of a mid-carder.
We've seen him before, but he's never stuck in your memory sort of thing. He was never a main character.
Yeah. Yeah, like he'd come in as a mid-carder where he was sort of, you know, he'd get wins and it looked like they might push him, but then he wasn't that good. So then he was not there. He was dropping down the ladder. Anyway, in 2012, he'd moved to NXT, where he went for the NXT Championship. He attempted to be crowned the inaugural NXT Champion, and he didn't. He may have lost the tournament finals to somebody called Seth Rollins.
Oh.
Yeah. He then went back to the main roster. He formed 3MB with Drew McIntyre and Heath Slater, which 3MB, three-man band. Heath Slater was known as the one-man rock band.
I see.
So that's where that come from. But that meant that they were playing air guitar and drums and all that sort of shit. Not going to win any belts, are they? Not with a gimmick like that.
Not with a gimmick like that, no. It's entertaining, though.
Yeah, it's entertaining. Yeah.
But yeah, you're definitely not looking to...
It's a job group.
Yeah.
They had one notable feud. That was against Los Matadores, who were Spanish bullfighters.
Yep.
Who had a little bull with them.
Of course.
As in a person.
In a little bull costume.
Yeah. And I'm not talking about a big normal person. I'm talking about a midget. So yeah, they had them with them. His name was El Torito, which they were fine. Turned out that Los Matadores were Primo and Epico, who were also pretty much job guys.
Okay.
But when they rebranded as Los Matadores, they actually had some hype behind them, and that was all cool. The most notable match in that feud was a WLC match. Play on the TLC match, but for wee little people. And 3MB had Hornswoggle join them, who is a leprechaun.
Right.
Yeah, well...
Yeah.
Character is
Played as a leprechaun, yeah.
He used to not be able to talk, he used to just grunt.
Yeah.
But then, I think Santa granted him a wish, and that wish was to talk, so then he could talk.
Someone sort of went, that's a bit dehumanising, let's give him a voice. So,
no, they just went, Santa can grant wishes.
Yeah.
It wins. Yeah, so that match happened, and that was Jinder's highlight for his first run in WWE.
Yeah, wow.
So a match between two midgets was his highlight.
Yeah.
It was actually a good match.
But, again, not exactly putting him up there as a headline act.
Yeah.
Not exactly super memorable yet.
Oh, also, El Torito won.
Yeah. Okay, and they lost.
And they lost. So, yeah, he was released in June of 2014. He then returned in 2016, July of 2016, and was slotted straight back into the same spot he was in.
Yeah. So is he getting kind of frustrated at this point, not really getting anywhere, or he's just happy to be doing what he's doing?
I'm happy to be in WWE because I get paid a bit more than on the indies.
True.
He did, to his credit, when he left WWE, he did work very hard, got very, very ripped.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
So then when he came back, everybody went, oh.
How you doing?
Shit.
Yeah.
Righto. And then he just went back to jobbing. And,
Okay.
and everybody went, oh, okay. Fair enough. So, April 18th, 2017, Jinder Mahal wins a number one contenders match for the WWE Championship against Randy Orton, as in Randy Orton's champion. He won a six-pack challenge to become number one contender. He won that with the help of his allies called the Singh brothers. Jinder is Indian, I'll point that out.
Right. Yeah.
The Singh brothers are also Indian, I should point that out too.
Yeah.
I think that might be a little bit obvious based on the name.
Mm.
Jinder then goes on to Backlash and beats Randy Orton for the belt becoming the 50th WWE Champion in history.
Nice.
And by that, 50th new person as champion.
Yeah.
So that's sort of a record.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's the 50th champion.
Yeah, that's kind of milestone sort of thing.
It's Jinder Mahal.
Who's been around? Did people sort of feel like he deserved it?
No, there were people in that match that should have probably won.
Right. Okay.
There was Luke Harper and Sami Zayn. There were people in that match that should have won.
Yeah.
I can't remember who else. I'll Google it.
Right. This guy who's been, just there to lose matches and sort of make entertainment the whole time, just sort of sneaking through and snagging a win wasn't exactly what we were... There was no build behind it.
Yeah. Here's 6 people that haven't really, they're in the mid-card at the moment, and there's Jinder. And, Jinder... There's 5 people in the mid-card, and there's Jinder, and yet Jinder won.
Gotcha.
From out of nowhere. So, there was Jinder, obviously, Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, Eric Rowan, Luke Harper, and Mojo Rawley in the match.
Right.
Sami Zayn has recently come up from NXT, where he was great and former NXT champion.
Gotcha.
So, him winning, it might be a bit of a shock, but, he's rising up.
He's got the credentials to do it.
Yeah. Dolph Ziggler, former World Heavyweight Champion, so fair enough, he's always been great. Eric Rowan, he was in a faction with Luke Harper and Bray Wyatt, called the Wyatt family. Probably not so likely to win this.
Okay.
In other words, Luke Harper's just better than him. There's also Luke Harper, who, again, could say maybe probably won't win this, but wouldn't be. So, out of everybody who's there, behind Sammy and Dolph, he's the next to win it.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Mojo's been brought up from NXT, and he's always been a bit meh. So maybe if they want to push him hard, they'll give it to him.
Mojo.
Yeah. But yeah, he's probably not going to win it, but he's got more of a chance than Jinder.
But yeah, the point is, all of these people should have been better off than Jinder. Jinder was here to
lose. He was here to be the loser.
Yeah.
Whoever was winning was beating him.
Yeah.
Except he won. Also, with Jinder being the 50th champion, he's also the first Indian champion.
Okay.
Nobody of Indian descent has won the WWE Championship ever before him. Which, that's entirely the reason why they put the belt on him.
I see.
Because they went, hey, India's a big place. A lot of Indians like the wrestling.
Could we get some views out of this?
Let's tap into that Indian market.
Fair enough. But...
don't pick Jinder Mahal.
Or even if you do, build first.
Yeah.
You can't just slap him in last second. You've got to put something behind this.
Yeah. Yeah, actually make him a credible threat. Not, he's won one match in about 12 years.
And it was a joke. Yeah.
Yeah, he's won one match in 12 years, and now he's challenging for the World Champion, the most prestigious championship in perhaps all of wrestling.
Yeah.
Maybe the NWA World Championship, but WWE is right there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he then moves on to Money in the Bank, where he beats Randy again to retain the belt.
Right.
After the Singh brothers distracted Randy by attacking his father.
Okay.
Yep. Sure, fair enough. That's okay. Randy then gets one more shot at the belt at Battleground. He has a Punjabi prison match, which is regarded as one of the worst stipulations in company history.
Right.
They used to do it with the great Khali, who was 7'3" and couldn't move. And Punjabi prison, it's like a cage, but there's a cage around the ring made out of bamboo, which has 4 doors on each side, as in one door on each side, where when somebody calls for the door to be open, it will be raised up for 60 seconds. You then go through the door. If you don't, it gets shut and locked forever.
Gotcha.
So then pretty much the match is they go and open up every single door. Either they'll get through one or one person will get through one, but they'll all be locked. Then they've got to climb over that first cage. And then there's a second bigger cage. It's usually got weapons or something around in that part. And the aim of the thing is to then climb over that second cage and win.
Okay.
Doesn't look very great because the camera can't see jack diddly shit.
Through all those bars and whatnot. Also,
because it's not all square.
Feeling kind of racist at this point. No?
It's WWE. If they wanted to be racist, they would be. Anyway, Jinder wins the Punjabi prison match with the help of the Great Khali. Remember the guy that's,
7 foot, doesn't move?
Yeah, 7 foot, can't move. When he runs, he's really just slowly walking.
Yeah, right.
When he hits people, he just sort of... That's about as quick as he does it. He also likes to squish their heads. It's the Great Khali. He's also a joke character.
Yeah.
He wasn't until about 2010-ish, and then he was.
He sort of became a gimmick.
Yeah, he became, well, the Great Khali. Anyway, so, yeah, he helped Jinder win, which, okay, who cares? At this point, we don't care.
Right.
Randy should be champion. Then Jinder beats Mr. Money in the Bank Baron Corbin on the August 15th edition of SmackDown after Corbin gets distracted by John Cena, which furthers their storyline.
Okay.
I don't know if you know what the Money in the Bank is.
We've touched on it a couple of times, but no.
Briefcase, in it there is a contract that says you can cash this in whenever you want and you get a World Championship match.
Gotcha.
So usually what happens is they'll wait until a match has gone down, probably a big match, and then they'll come out, cash it in, they get a match immediately to fight the champion.
Gotcha.
Who has just competed in this very, very hard fought match.
Yeah.
So Corbin come down to cash in, cashed it in, and then John Cena showed up, distracted Corbin, and Jinder Mahal rolled up Baron Corbin 1, 2, 3. He won again.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. They could have had the belt on a Corbin-Cena feud.
Yeah.
Like, Baron Corbin at this point was being pushed hard. He was Mr. Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
And John Cena's John Cena. But no, it's still on Jinder.
To put two big names having their feud off to one side while someone like Jinder retains a belt
that you shouldn't even have.
No.
It's unfortunate.
Anyone who was sort of questioning whether or not Jinder should have it at this point is now starting to feel more and more certain that what the fuck is this?
Yes.
Yeah.
However, this next part could have been... They could have saved the whole thing.
Okay.
He then enters a feud with Shinsuke Nakamura. Right, Shinsuke is awesome. And, so Shinsuke gonna beat Jinder for the belt. Nakamura earned the opportunity by beating Cena on the August 1st edition of SmackDown.
You're right. He worked his way up to it.
Yeah, he debuted on April 4th after being one of the greatest champions in NXT. Because, of course.
So he worked his way there.
Yeah. He was also NXT champion, something Jinder wasn't. Then at SummerSlam, he gets his match. SummerSlam is in August. And Jinder Mahal beats Shinsuke Nakamura with the help of the Singh brothers. That's what it says. I wrote the script. It's all factual.
That can't be right. That sounds like shit.
It's okay. They're going to have a rematch at Hell in a Cell. And Jinder used the help of the Singh brothers to win.
This... You seem to have copied and pasted this. Jinder uses the help of the Singh brothers to win a few times. You've done it about 3 or 4, 5, maybe 5 times now. Something's...
Yeah. I have. Yeah, that is correct.
Yeah.
It seems like he just uses the help of the Singh brothers to win.
Every
time.
Every time.
Not just once or twice.
That's
maybe the first. Well, maybe he should have probably won the belt properly, and then the Singh brothers can help him against Randy, and then the Great Khali can help him against Randy. That's okay, and then help him. Obviously there's the distraction with Cena.
Yeah.
Against Corbin, so that's fine, and then against Nakamura the first time, maybe. Well, I mean it's SummerSlam, so Nakamura should have won it at SummerSlam.
I mean, yeah.
So
kind of done with it by now, but.
But I mean, if you let's say you maybe had another pay-per-view before SummerSlam, and you had the Singh brothers help him beat Shinsuke there, that sort of makes a bit more sense.
Yeah.
Sure, there's a lot of distractions here, but it's sort of leading to Nakamura finally beating him at SummerSlam, which would be great.
But no.
But no, he didn't. And then we start the feud, or the build, to Survivor Series, which would have been champion versus champion, Jinder Mahal versus Brock Lesnar.
Okay.
Brock Lesnar?
We've touched on that one.
Brock Lesnar's a UFC fighter.
Yes.
Brock Lesnar is a big dude. Quick, if he doesn't like you, he will attempt to murder you in the match.
Yeah. Man's gonna hurt you.
Yeah, if he likes you, he'll still attempt to murder you in the match. He'll just make sure that you don't die, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, instead of just throwing you willy-nilly, he'll actually make sure that you...
land on something.
Well, just don't land on your head.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's very friendly.
Yeah, Brock is friendly.
I appreciate it.
When he showed back up in 2012, his biggest thing was, let's break arms.
Oh, good.
He used, obviously, being in UFC, he picked up some submissions.
Some helpful moves.
And so he used a Kimura, which is a key lock, which is pretty much, he gets your arm behind your back, and then just pop. There goes your shoulder.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's Brock Lesnar, who's massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar. So we could have had Jinder Mahal versus Brock freaking Lesnar. That would have been awesome. Just to see Jinder...
with two broken arms.
I know, just get thrown and thrown. And if if Brock didn't like Jinder, on his head.
Mm.
And the Singh brothers, they would have gone flying.
Yeah,
but,
not much of a distraction there.
No, not much. I think that they probably would have thought, maybe we won't get involved in this one.
Run, yeah.
Jinder's on his own in this one. We out. What's that? He's going to fire us. Well, we're not fighting Brock, are we?
Nope.
So, yeah, anyway, we could have had that, but instead AJ Styles beats Jinder Mahal for the title shortly before Survivor Series. On a random SmackDown.
So he's bullshit his way through all this stuff where he should have lost, and then
he just randomly loses on an episode of SmackDown.
Just book disappears.
Yep. He then AJ then goes on to fight Lesnar. Lesnar likes AJ, and still loses to Lesnar though.
Mm-hmm.
Jinder then gets his rematch at Clash of Champions in December.
Oh, he's not done. Okay, he's back.
Loses that.
Oh, good. So he's back to his losing streak.
Yeah, and then he moves into the US title scene, the United States title scene, and continues to drop further and further down the card as the years go on. And he hasn't really been on TV since July of this year, at the time of writing the script, which was a while ago. I think he showed up last week or the week before or something.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So, he hasn't been... I mean, that was 2017, and he hasn't really been featured all that much since. July 15th of 2022, at the time of writing this, was the last time he was on TV. I wrote this in probably October, September. So, it's been about 6 months. Also, he was back to being a joke again. So, That's Jinder for you.
This is a fun one. There's so many points at which we can fix this.
Yeah.
It's pretty unlike some of the ones we've done in previous episodes. This one feels pretty straightforward, in the sense of
don't make him champion.
Well, there to start.
Yep.
Or worst comes to worst, you do give him a build up. Yeah. Which we've said in previous episodes with previous things, when you're gonna do something, it can't just come out of the blue. It's that whole discussion we had about forward planning stuff. We had this discussion during the invasion, like how did they not sit down, plan this out?
Yeah.
Again, with Jinder, how did they get to the championship? That first championship match, and go
one match.
Oh, sweet! Let's slap him in here.
Yeah.
Where did he come? No one had that meeting and like, oh, where did he come from? He needs to win some matches, have a rivalry, come into it with a fan base who are keen to see him win.
Well, not even keen to see him lose, and then he wins just to piss everyone off. He's the bad guy. So, at least make it work.
But at least make him
credible.
Yeah.
Yes. So, I'm just going to quickly go over what went wrong with this whole thing.
Please.
So, Jinder's not a believable champion, which we've said. Yeah. Given that he wasn't even credible to be in the picture, let alone winning the thing. He was a joke champion. All of his matches ended pretty much the same, which was get help and hit his finisher to win. It was repetitive. It makes him look like a joke because he can't win by himself. It makes the title less important because why is he champion?
Yeah.
And the whole reason why they did it was to tap into the Indian market, which didn't work because they didn't really care either about Jinder. So it was just a colossal waste of time.
Right. That was one of my upcoming questions. Did we gain anything?
No. Absolutely not.
Of course.
Yeah. So, well, do you want me to book my bit?
Please.
Yeah.
How would you run this?
Well, how would I do it better? Let's begin with giving him some wins. So, he gets drafted to SmackDown 2017, and let's have him win against some lower mid-card guys, right? So he's coming in as a job guy, so let's have him beat the people that are just above him. Los Matadores, for example. They're not still there at this point, but,
Yeah.
And you can also give him one or two pay-per-view wins. Maybe start him off on the kickoff show and then move on to the pay-per-view. And, so you have him gain a couple of wins.
Build up naturally.
Yeah. And then let's say that Shane and Brian come out and say that at SummerSlam, Randy will defend against somebody who's never won the belt before. Because SmackDown's a land of opportunity. Yeah, that's all good.
Keep selling it.
Yeah, so leading up to SummerSlam, I've made it all the way to SummerSlam at this point, so we have a tournament to get there because tournaments are always great. And, it goes over a few weeks. And the week before SummerSlam, we have a six-pack challenge, the same one that we had in real life, because why not?
Yeah, sure.
And
but this time, Jinder's coming in with, he's not at the bottom of that stack. He's up in there somewhere.
Yeah, right. So instead of, so we've got a tournament, we get to the last six people, let's say.
By all means, he can still be a shock winner, but
Yeah, you come to the last 6 or 8 people and you go, shit, SummerSlam's on Sunday. We don't have any more time to do this. We've got a 6-pack challenge or 8-pack challenge, I guess. You do whatever, you make it work. And so you do that, you have Jinder win, and you have the Sings help him win.
Sure.
Because He's already made himself a bit more credible by winning by himself and then getting into this tournament and winning, getting so far.
But still not necessarily strong enough to be believable to win by himself.
Yeah, so then the Sings come out, they help him win, and they do that by making sure that all the other competitors are, not getting back in the ring. Jinder hits the Kalash, which is his finisher, on Sami Zayn and gets the win. Yeah. So they haven't exactly gotten involved to, distract somebody and help him win. They've just sort of, hey, stay down there. We're just going to kick you a few times so that you stay down, blah, blah, blah. Jinder goes on to SummerSlam and Randy takes him lightly, which costs him the belt.
Gotcha.
The Sings don't really get involved.
Good.
They might do a little bit of distracting on the outside, like, hey, look at me, and Jinder sort of, rolls him up or something, but doesn't end the match.
But this is a belt match. He's got to do it himself.
Yeah. Maybe he's got Randy in a submission and they pull the ropes away from him or something. Or Randy's got Jinder in a submission and they distract the referee while Jinder taps out. So Randy lets off of him because he's tapped. But the ref didn't see, so the match can't end.
Gotcha.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
Jinder wins with not really any involvement from the Sings. We then get a rematch inside Hell in a Cell, which that then keeps the Sings out of the match.
Good.
And Randy and Jinder have a match that might not be good, but they beat the shit out of each other. So it's Hell in a Cell.
Hell in a Cell. It's what you paid for. It's what you're expecting.
Yeah.
It's what you came to see.
Yeah. And Jinder wins by low blowing Randy, which is a legal move inside Hell in a Cell, and hits the Kalash to win. So that's sort of. Sure, he cheated,
We're
technically.
Setting him as a bit of a bad guy here.
Yeah.
He's come up good still, but at the same time, you're starting to. He's not winning through like how the fuck did that happen? You've given it an explanation. He's using sort of cheap tricks.
Yeah. Like the Sings didn't get involved in that match at SummerSlam and give him the win.
No.
They got involved. Over the course of the match. Maybe they get thrown out of the match. Who knows? And he still won by, himself. And then in Hell in a Cell, there is no rules.
Mm.
So a low blow is legal, which he took advantage of the rules.
Gotcha.
Sure, it's still a low blow, but he's won.
They're a real dick move, but
yeah.
We got that.
And he's already champion by this point, so having him win like that is just going to make people go, I really want to see him lose.
Mm.
So, yeah. Then we're going to move on to SummerSlam, and now, yes, Brock Lesnar versus Jinder would be great. Let's not go with Brock, though, because Brock will kill him. And we sort of need him alive for this booking.
Right.
So we're going to have Seth Rollins take the belt from Brock at SummerSlam or something,
Okay.
Just before Survivor Series. So then we get Seth Rollins versus Jinder Mahal, champion versus champion. Maybe a rematch from the NXT tournament.
Mm-hmm.
NXT Championship tournament. And then we have Rollins face Jinder, who we can give Rollins the win here because Jinder's not that.
Jinder's had his run.
Yeah, he's not losing the belt yet.
No.
So he can afford the loss.
Yeah.
It's not like he's.
And everyone's hyped to see him lose.
Yeah. And it's Seth Rollins, who at this point is on one of the runs of his career.
Yeah.
With saying that, he's also on a run of his career now. And the Shield was a run of his career, and
pretty much a few runs, but
he's had a few.
He's just getting the fit up.
Maybe he's just really good. That could possibly be something to look at. But yeah, so then over the next little while, we can have Jinder beating AJ Styles and Dean Ambrose and whoever else sort of pops into your mind, because we need to build him back up. Sure, he lost to Rollins, so we give him these wins.
Yeah.
Again, you can sort of use your Sing distractions here and there. Like, you don't want to be doing sing distractions all the time.
No.
Maybe one here, one there, against Dean Ambrose, because Dean is so lunatic,
He's easily distractible. It makes sense to use a distraction on him.
Yeah, well, he's a lunatic, so he sort of does whatever he wants. It's not really it's not going to be a match in terms of what you would expect a match to be, because it's Dean Ambrose, so he's just going to do things. Although it's going to be a Dean Ambrose match, because he does the same things. But, so you do a distraction, Dean sort of, oh, what was that? And then, last one, whatever. Anyway, then we get to the Rumble. Over this, we get to the Rumble, we can fight Dean or Styles, or whoever at Rumble beats him there. And Shinsuke Nakamura wins the Royal Rumble, like in real life.
Mm-hmm.
He won the 2018 Rumble. So, we're keeping some parts of this. Also, Jinder won the belt at SummerSlam, and it's now the Royal Rumble. So August to January, he's been champion.
Yeah.
Shinsuke picks Jinder, because otherwise I wouldn't have pointed out that he won the Rumble. So at Mania 34 in April, we get Jinder versus Nakamura, and you can have Jinder lose it here.
Yeah.
In the main event of WrestleMania, Jinder Mahal, WWE Champion, lost to Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah.
Which,
has nothing to do with the fact that you love Shinsuke Nakamura.
Well, he won the Rumble in real life. He went on to...
But also, it would make sense that he wins it.
Yeah. And, in real life, it was AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura, and they put it on halfway through the show, which the Royal Rumble states get a World Championship match in the main event of WrestleMania, but, we're going to give that to Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. So even if you do put it on halfway through the show, it's still a WrestleMania match for Jinder Mahal defending the World Championship. Also in real life, Nakamura, after the match, after losing to AJ Styles, which is a rematch from Wrestle Kingdom 12 in New Japan, I believe, Shinsuke then low blows AJ, and for the next ages has something, I don't know what's going on with Nakamura, but he loves hitting people in the balls. Nearly every chance he gets, low blow.
Right.
Whether it's in a match, backstage, just sort of an attack from behind, it's a low blow. He does it for months.
Yeah, right.
Low blow, yeah.
Okay.
That's why he got the nickname from me, Shinsuke Cock Knocker. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, so we have Shinsuke beat Jinder for the belt at WrestleMania. If you want, you can still do Brock versus Roman. But, you could keep it on Rollins, and you can do Brock versus Rollins versus Roman, which will be better, because it's got Rollins.
But for our next point, Jinder needs to not disappear off the face of the earth.
Yes.
After losing the belt.
Yeah, well, this next part, it says, how does this help WWE? Well, it builds Jinder as a credible champion, so he doesn't need help to win, at least.
We're not mad that he won it in the first place.
Yeah. Which, if he doesn't need help to win, means that he's more marketable, because then you don't have to market him with the Singh brothers so that they can help him win.
Yeah.
And by doing that and putting the belt on him at SummerSlam makes it seem more important, because it's one of the big four shows. Having him lose it at WrestleMania, the biggest show of the year. And so, yeah, it just makes everything seem more important. And it will make Jinder, he's held it from August to April, which is a nice long reign. So, hopefully, by doing that, like I said, he's more credible, and, he should come out of that and be sort of, I've beaten AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose, whoever else, Randy Orton, all these big names. You can turn around and go, well, I've beaten them. So he should still be up here. or you can have him drop all the way down if you want. It doesn't really matter, because after this point, he's not the champion anymore. So, whatever Jinder does. Who cares? But, it should help him be a credible threat to any belt that he goes after. Anyway, because he's been WWE Champion. He did it pretty much by himself. So all of that should tick boxes. He should be right to stay credible. Like I said, if you don't want to do that, you don't have to, but you can. And with all that, it should mean that maybe with him being more marketable, it should bring in more fans, maybe, hopefully, the Indian market. And that should mean more money, which is WWE, that's all they care about. We know that because they released like 80 superstars at once over the pandemic, and that was all just because their quarterly earnings were coming up. So then they can say, we've made $1 billion, or however much it was. And everybody goes, that's good. And then they go, oh yeah, most of that was because we released like 80 people. Yeah. So, yeah. So what did you reckon of all that?
Of all that, yeah, well, it was, it was definitely obvious how we needed to rebook it, for the large part. There were just some obvious places along Jinder's journey that didn't make sense, which really shouldn't happen because they weren't that hard to fix. That didn't take a huge amount of imagination to go, that's, not going to play out well and could have been done this way. I think it's simple as that. Unfortunate that it didn't tap into the Indian market the way they wanted to. I think that's a fair thing to attempt. Yeah. I can't hate him for trying that.
Can't fault them on that.
But it's just unfortunate that it didn't go super well.
Yeah, I think their main issue was that they were using somebody that wasn't credible. You keep telling the Indians that, hey, Jinder's shit, and then all of a sudden Jinder's the best. They're sort of getting a, hang on, what?
Yeah.
I don't. What are you talking about? Go away.
And you want to suck them in with an Indian champion. He needs to be an Indian champion. Yeah. Not an Indian joke.
Yeah. Not an Indian champion who wins the exact same way every single match, with the help of people.
Yeah. Yeah. You basically, guys, here is your champion who you are to worship. He's crap. He can't do it himself. Yeah. I think another thing I will point out with my booking is that I did scrap the whole Punjabi prison bit. Good.
Which was good. I think everybody will love that. Comment in the comments how much you love the fact that we didn't have a Punjabi prison match.
If there's anyone out there who actually liked the Punjabi prison,
also comment, but also know that you're an idiot.
What are you doing?
So that was how. That was Jinder. And I mean, here's the thing. We'll talk about it now. Is that these first 4 episodes of Stupid Ideas are all quite different. Obviously, the show is Stupid Ideas from Bad Creative. The invasion wasn't actually a stupid idea; it was bad creative. Roman Reigns' whole thing. Well, that was sort of a stupid idea with bad creative. Katie Vick was also a stupid idea, and the creative also wasn't that great with it either. And this one here was a good idea with bad creative. Also, wasn't actually a good idea either, I guess. But with good creative, it could have been a good idea.
It could have been okay, yeah.
Yeah, and just to give everybody a sneak peek into the next episode. This next episode is going to be about it's the way I've written it is a bad idea.
Okay.
The way I've written this episode's title, it's a bad idea. But the original idea of it is good, bad creative again.
Gotcha, right. So another one following through with the this could have worked had you spun it differently.
Yeah. It's all about, for those of you who know, the Nexus, which we will get to next month. But that's been it for this episode. Like, share, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for the Facebook, Twitter and Twitch. Links are in the description. Let me know what you thought of the episode in the comment section down below. And other than that, thanks for watching. Sid, say goodbye.
Catch you later.
And good night.